Christine, Chelsea and Paris in the back, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Although this is a pre-recording, so it won't actually air for a couple of weeks, it's wonderful to have you on the show. And, of course, we've got little Chelsea who's decided that she doesn't want to look in the hello puppy, don't want to look anymore. Before she was just looking into the hello. So beautiful. Such a beautiful little face.
Donna, sometimes she'll behave and sometimes she won't. That's what blacks do, unfortunately. There can be devils.
Perfect. Yes. Winston, Charles's litter brother, he had a thing for rubbish bins. So he wasn't trying to eat them. He'd tip them over and spread them from here to Kingdom Come. And they're looking innocent, like it fell over by itself and accidentally spewed out all over the kitchen and the lounge room. So how did you meet Paris and Chelsea?
Okay, well, I'll start off with Paris first. Paris is 4.5, and I got her from a breeder in Narre Warren.
Yeah.
Dee is the breeder, and she would come down to Pugwood, which I belong to, and she had a litter available, and I had an old black pug at the time, China, and I thought it would keep her young.
Yes.
So I got Paris, and she's the best pug I've ever had. Paris is my 3rd pug and Chelsea is number 4. But temperament-wise, she's just absolutely a delight.
And she's sitting there so calmly. You're talking
to
her.
She's the best pug. My sister calls her a bookend because she pretty much just sits and she'll just watch me. She's just a real delight. She's great walking. She's great at the park. If I call her, she immediately flicks up her ears and runs to me. She's really good.
Just a dream. And Chelsea?
However, this little devil is 11 months and she is a devil.
In disguise.
She might look nice and meek and mild, but she can't get up she can get up my stairs, but she can't get down. So I have to take her down. I've got an upstairs kitchen and lounge, and my bedrooms are downstairs, so I'm upside down.
Oh.
So I have a balcony, which she likes to go out and do her business on. Otherwise, I have to take her down, carrying her down. She's a sweet little girl. Butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, but she loves chasing Paris and biting her tail.
Oh, yes.
And grabs her tail and spins her around.
Yes. So lots of zoomies?
Oh, yes, lots. Usually between 4 and 5. It's crazy time, and that's before dinner. So crazy time is sort of spinning around the backyard. I've got a courtyard.
Yeah.
They have at least 1 or 2 walks a day, so they're very spoiled.
Oh, very much. Well, I was going to say Paris has now taken the obligatory puggy pose of I'm really bored with all of this now, so I'm going to really relax down the back there. She's obviously loves that chair because she's gotten off and on the twos.
She's actually anywhere I am. Oh. If I was on the couch, she'd be with me on the couch. And there's now a tug of war of who gets to sit right on top of me.
Oh, yeah.
And Chelsea will push her out the way so that she gets prime position.
Mm-hmm. So, and your legs are covered in scratches in the ensuing argument as to who gets.
They don't scratch actually. They have their nails cut probably every 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But we walk on footpaths, so it's sort of it's like a nail file really.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. So where did you get the names Paris and Chelsea? What drove you to choose those particularly?
Okay, my first pug that I ever had which was in 2001, she was called Perry. Perry was my ex-partner and myself. We named her Perry before we'd even got the pug. Our first breeder, unfortunately, it fell through.
Oh,
so we had to then find a pug to go with the name. And as it turned out, the breeder, her name was Perry.
Oh, wow.
A big coincidence. So Perry was meant to be. The next pug we got was Perry was fawn. China was black.
Yeah.
China, obviously, because she was black and from Chinese background.
Yes.
And then Paris, I wanted the name to start with P because of Perry.
Yeah.
And being fawn as well. And I just sort of searched around the world to see what I was going to have, and Paris sort of popped up.
Lovely.
And it suited. And Chelsea, just another name for Chelsea for England, Chelsea for the beach. So I just wanted names of countries or towns.
Oh, fair. That's lovely.
Yeah.
I love getting to know why people choose the names for their pugs. I read an article once that dog owners name their pets Spot or dog type names. People who love their dogs as children give them human names and names that really do have a connection. So that's why I always love to ask where you come up with those names. So what made you want to be a pug mum? Out of all the breeds, why pugs?
Okay. Well, it wasn't me, actually. It was my ex-partner.
Oh, wow. Great.
My daughter had an Afghan, and I used to breed lassie dogs.
Oh, yeah.
So Scotch collies, when I was young and living with my parents. And we always had dogs that had long hair and were quite big.
Yeah.
My daughter had an Afghan, and we were at one of the dog shows showing the Afghan. And my partner, Jimmy, he wanted to look around and see what dog he'd like because he doesn't like big dogs.
Yeah.
And he came back and he said, I found the dog that I want. And I thought, oh, my goodness, what would it be? So we went around and had a look, and I saw in a pen were these 6 little pug puppies going, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Oh. So you took all 6.
Well, from there, he wanted a pug, and it wasn't for about 12 months or 2 years afterwards that we got Perry.
Yeah.
I really didn't want a pug because I don't like dogs that show their bum. And I didn't like dogs that were short-haired. And I didn't like dogs that didn't have a nose.
Yeah.
So look what I've got.
I know. You know what they say? Once you've had a pug, you can never go back.
Correct. Yeah, I could never have another breed now.
No, I grew up with hunting dogs, so never had a dog as a pet. And when I saw Milo and Otis, the movie, as a kid growing up, I turned around to my family and went, that's the dog for me. When I'm old enough to have a dog, I want a dog that loves me as much as that pug loved that cat.
Yeah.
And my family thought I was crazy. And they just went, yeah, whatever. And then, of course, took another 10 or 15 years, but finally got Fat Dog, my first pug, who was a rescue, and never looked back. Same thing. I just always wanted one. And then when I finally got one, I thought I was going to get a puppy, but ended up getting a senior. He was 7 years. And was just sold. You know what? A pug at any age is just...
It's like an obsession.
Yes, I am a crazy pug lady, and I reckon you could almost join that group.
Yes, well, I'm well known around Elwood with the pugs.
Yes.
We walk down through the village every day, so everyone in Elwood knows my pugs.
Oh, they're they're not unforgettable, that's for sure. Definitely that. So what's some of the naughty things that Chelsea's gotten up to? I mean, being only about 11 months old, I can only imagine what chaos she's caused.
Well, you're not going to like what I'm going to tell you.
No. Is this
horrible
confessions?
Yeah, well, sort of. And she's probably not going to like it when she grows up to hear this. But at the moment, if I don't get out and pick her pooper up, Paris will eat it. Chelsea will eat it. Yes, unfortunately. So it's sort of a race because my dogs sleep on my bed, of course.
Yes.
When they get up in the morning, first thing they do is run outside to the courtyard, do their pooper and their wee. Yeah. They come in, have breakfast, and then I can then attend to myself.
Yeah.
So if I'm all out there very quickly, she'll turn around and eat it. Oh. So it's not a very nice thing.
No. We have had a couple of our other guests whose pugs like undies. Some of them are happy to chew family undies, so they keep it within the household. But one of the pugs found a pair of old undies on a walk, and then got them out of the bush, men's undies, got them out of the bush, and then carried it home, tripping over it too, because obviously the undies were bigger than she was at the time. And some of the comments were, yes, our pug does that. Another one actually come up with the comment of something along the lines of, I'm assuming you didn't give her a kiss goodnight that night.
Yeah. Well, I certainly make sure I check her mouth before she comes near me, that's for sure. But I've been able to catch her now. So once you realise what she's doing, it's think, no, stop, especially if she's on the balcony.
Oh, no.
Think, no, stop. Another thing that she does is she likes to destroy her beds.
Oh, yeah.
She's had about 4 new beds, and each one she turns them over, and then she scratches and then pulls the stuffing out.
So she's a stuffing pug, or you haven't tried her with wicker basket? Winston liked eating straw.
Well, she actually, on my balcony, I have, it's sort of like a trellis, which is bamboo, and it's got fake ivy on it.
Yeah.
She loves pulling that off and bringing it in to show me. Yes.
Is that a hint to redecorate, Mum?
No, it's a hint for me to take it off so she can see the dogs crossing the road. Because the balcony obviously is up high.
Yes.
And I've put it there so it camouflages. Otherwise, she'd be barking at everything.
All day.
She's a bit of a barker.
Yes. Oh, asserting her position.
Well, all my other pugs never barked, ever.
Yeah.
And she's my first barker.
Oh, wow. I find it's funny. I mean, being a puppy, you can understand that they get quite boisterous. Like Charles is 12 and a half, as I was saying earlier. He's become a barker the older he's gotten, but it's a very demanding, it's dinner time, so I'm going to keep barking until you give me dinner. And look, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake, therefore you need to be awake.
No, she will only bark if she sees an animal.
So what's her favourite animal to bark at?
Oh, dog, horses, anything on TV.
Oh, no.
I can't put an animal show on like Dr. Harry.
Oh, no.
Can't have Dr. Harry on because she goes crazy. Horse racing on TV, can't have.
Oh, no.
And there's certain ads, as soon as she hears the ad starting, both dogs are up at the TV barking. So it's... if I hear the ad come, I've got to turn it off.
So what's one of the ads that they particularly like?
There's one in particular. And they've got a dog in the car.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Pretty much anything that's got a dog in it.
Yeah. And it's just that the music is the trigger.
Yeah.
Damn it again.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Paris. She's so placidly sleeping down the back.
She's so laid back, Paris. Oh gosh, I don't know.
What's she
She's
like
just
as a
so.
puppy?
As a puppy, she was mischievous as a puppy. About 12 months, I've noticed that they settle down.
Yeah.
Chelsea will probably be quiet in about another month. I've noticed slowly, she's really got quieter and quieter as she's got older.
Yeah.
She's nearly full grown. She's got, on the 12th of August, she turns 1.
Oh, lovely. We've got
Yeah.
another Willow, who was a guest a few weeks ago. It's her birthday this weekend. And they've had to cancel a birthday party because they're in New South Wales, which was such a pity.
Chelsea's going to have a cake.
Oh, lovely. Are you making it?
I'll give it a try.
I did that once a few years ago, and after that I said, never again. I'm just going to go to Miss Drew's and get them made.
Oh, she's heard something.
Charles is what are you doing, puppy? Charles has decided that he wants to have a bark. Their little ears are cricked up and everything.
Yeah.
Paris, by the way, still happily snoozing down the back.
She'll only bark if Chelsea barks.
No.
As I said, Paris is so laid back and quiet, and she's just a joy. She really is the best natured dog.
She's a snuggle pug.
Oh, see, she's heard.
I'm going to say, what I might have to do is I'm going to have to do a pug changeover. Charles. He's a little deaf too, so that's what's worse. I don't know what he hears or sees because he barks at nothing. Oh, so it's like halftime pug changeover. So this is my old boy, Charles. Hey, who's that puppy? No, apparently he just wants to slobber on my hand. This is my old boy. Hey, you say hello? Sorry about that. It's always the way. I'm going to try and steal the show. So yes, sorry, you were going to say something, Christine?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have pet insurance with your pugs?
No, we used to, but we found that the stuff that they needed done, because they were rescues, it was either excluded because they were rescues, or because they were pugs, they wouldn't cover it either. So Andrew and I ended up making the decision to have money set aside.
Yeah.
So that was...
It's something that people ask me all the time, and it's so hard because they've changed it so much in the last 20 years.
Yes.
When I first took it out with Perry, I think it was $30 a month, and it was quite achievable. But towards the end, I think it was about $240 a month. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I think when we had it for Winston and Charles, we initially had it for them because they were so young. We adopted them at 2, but then Charles has always been quite sickly, so he sort of needed more care at a younger age. And then we were submitting, and they were saying, no, that's a pug thing. So, and that's not, fine print, blah, blah. And it got to the point where I rang up and I said, why am I paying you all this money not to do what you should be doing, cancel the policy? And then Winston, a couple of years ago, we lost him just before the pandemic last year, quite suddenly. But we'd had 12 months of surgeries and hospitalisation. So his trachea and bronchial tube collapsed, and so had the stents put in. Then he got pneumonia. Then he got an antibiotic-resistant bacteria in his lungs, and so he had 12 months of toing and froing. And we paid for it out of pocket, obviously, because we didn't have insurance. And even our specialist at the time said, to be honest, a lot of the hospitalisation post-operation wouldn't have been covered, because they would have seen that as being
pre-existing.
Yeah, so this is he's a rescue, and so and the thing is as far Andrew and I are dinks basically, so the puppies are our children, but I do understand how some people it's a lot of money to then not have them pay out what it is. So, but some people swear by some of them. So, we've been fairly lucky. So, things other than Winston was almost the outlier. Every other pug we've had, we've made sure they've had good teeth. We've made sure their breathing's all okay, and then everything else sort of falls into place.
Yeah. My first two pugs did have quite a lot of medical conditions, and it was so needed to have the pet insurance. But Paris and Chelsea pretty much is desexing, and that's maybe a little ear infection maybe once, and that's about it for Paris. And Chelsea only desexing. So I don't know. I'm sort of at the crossroads whether I sort of jump out of it now.
No, I do. I probably should put another survey out on our Facebook page and see what people think, because I do see it come up a lot.
Yeah.
And they do change, but it's sometimes I sort of look at pet insurance because it's so new, and I think it's probably what private health insurance was 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
And private health insurance is a lot.
It's been in 20 years, because I've been in it 20 years, pet insurance. But it was only new then.
Yeah, so it hasn't quite evolved as much. But I think more and more people take it up, they're starting to realise that they need to be a little bit more agile in what's covered.
Yeah.
No, little faces just popped up again. She's being beautifully behaved now.
I'll pop her down and get Paris.
Yes.
Paris.
Oh,
your turn.
Beautiful. Just so beautiful. Oh, that little grumble too. You woke me up, Mum. Hey?
She's a snorter.
So's Rosie. Oh, well, you heard her before. So, yes, that was hello. Just so beautiful. What's her favourite pastime? Chelsea's now jealous. Oh, here we go, Charles. So what's Paris's favourite pastime?
Eating, sleeping, and when I bring the lead out, going for a walk.
Oh, lovely.
So probably in that order. But she does love children.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've got 6 grandchildren, and she just loves the grandchildren.
Oh, beautiful. So what's her favourite treat?
Food. They both love bully sticks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, bully sticks are a favourite, and I go to the South Melbourne market once a week and get lamb necks, and I get them to cut them up into sections.
Nice.
And they get one of those each night. Beautiful. And they just chew it until they get to the marrow. Yeah. And, yeah.
Very lucky.
They're very spoiled.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. She's so calmly just sitting there. Just amazing.
That way. There we go.
Oh, hello. So I always ask my guests what's their favourite outfit, or do they have a favourite outfit? Do they have a favourite harness?
I tend not to put any outfits on them. They've got what's called a horse jacket. It's exactly like the horses have, and it's just a Velcro around the neck and around the tummy, and it's the same weave as a horse coat.
Oh, there you go.
So Paris has got a purple one, and Chelsea's got a blue one.
Oh, lovely. I mean, purple's my favourite colour, if you hadn't guessed.
Well, my first pug had purple everything.
Oh.
Purple lead, purple collar, purple coat, and they've just sort of been passed down.
Yeah. Oh,
it's like the last children syndrome. They get the leftovers.
I was a middle child. I get it. Oh no, that's lovely. And so, so both of them, their favourite treat is the lamb, or does Chelsea have a different favourite treat?
Oh, they love anything. They love what are those? Smackos.
Smackos.
Smackos. Bully sticks. Anything really.
I'm very impressed with the bully sticks. I've never heard anyone's pug want that before.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
They love them.
Oh,
and
lovely.
if I've got people for dinner, something that keeps them amused is a bully stick.
So when we'll start with Paris first. So when Paris first come home, what was something about her that surprised you, especially knowing that you'd had 2 pugs before her?
I think just her personality, because she was very laid back and relaxed, and yeah, she was very easygoing pug.
Even as a pup as well.
As a pup as well, yeah.
It's just amazing.
Had no problems. She's just been a dream. Whereas Chelsea,
yes, what was Chelsea like when she first come home?
Chelsea, well, she ended up in my bed pretty much within a week, and that was so that she would sleep. And of course, as soon as she got onto my bed, she'd go straight to sleep. Lovely. So that's where she stayed. Both of them sleep on my bed.
So do you get wedged between the
Sandwiched.
On the edge of the bed, or?
And I can't turn over because I've got one sort of, it's like, yeah. Put it this way, I don't think I could have another relationship because there's no room on my bed.
I had to, Fat Dog, my first pug, slept on the bed with me because it was me and him against the world for a number of years before my partner Andrew come on the scene. And when Andrew first started to stay over, Fat Dog did not take too kindly to this interloper. I think I'm trying to remember Moochie the pug, the cartoons, where he's lying on the side and he's got his back up against mum and all 4 paws are planted into the back. That was Andrew's first experience of staying over and sharing a bed. So I can imagine Chelsea and Paris like pug teaming anyone and doing.
Oh, they do. It's a tag team. And it's who can get to me the closest.
Oh, no.
And if Paris is leaning on me, Chelsea will come along, squeeze her out the way and squeeze in between her and me.
Oh,
and Paris is starting to realise that she's getting wedged out now. So she's starting to do her block a bit, like as if to say, hey, wait a minute, you're second in line, not first.
I'm the elder sister here. That's... Now, you were saying to me earlier, you've only ever had girls.
Yes.
Is that was that just by design or by accident?
Well, I don't like their little pink things popping out. And boys tend to mark more. Like, I don't like them cocking their leg. And every time my sister's got a boy dog. Yeah. And every time it comes here, first thing it does is walks in and cocks its leg on everything.
Oh, no.
So it really turned me off having a boy dog.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So noting you used to show dogs, do you show your pugs?
No.
No? It's all love?
No. It's not really, it's very incestuous, the pug showing fraternity. And it's not anything that I'd want to do.
No, fair enough. I've never been. I've only ever watched it online, and I look at those agility pugs and I go, wow, Charles, why did you ever do that?
Yeah. Chelsea's very quick, and Paris, they're both very quick running. When they go to the park, they can really run fast. They're not slow pugs by any means.
So Paris comes on command. How about Chelsea?
Sorry, what was that?
So Paris comes back to you on command, you were saying before, but you didn't mention what Chelsea's like.
No. She does not come back on that. She did for the first 3 months, believe it or not, and she's got cheeky. She realised that to get a treat, she'll come to get the treat, but then she bolts off. So I've got a bit more sneakier with her, and I put her on the lead.
Yeah.
So I'll let her off with the lead. If I'm walking with other people with pugs, which I nearly always do,
Yeah.
she's all right in a pack.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just the two of us, I can't trust her.
Yeah.
She plays cat and mouse for me to try and get her back.
She's on to you.
She's only young, though. I'll be putting some more training in the next few weeks. I'm giving her a little bit of leeway because she's a pup. But then she's going to have to learn. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I was about to call you Chelsea, Christine, and Paris and Chelsea. It's been lovely talking to you and getting to know both of you girls. Now, you're a member of Pugwood and you go most Sundays?
I've been going for 20 years.
Wow. I went with Fat Dog when I lived down the Mornington Peninsula way many, many, many years ago, but we now go to Pug City. So the sister play group to all the pug play groups in Melbourne. So the great thing is if anyone who's watching wants to meet Paris and Chelsea, all they need to do is come to Pugwood.
Absolutely. We're there every Sunday, 10 o'clock.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful
Donna.
evening and Puggy kisses. Hello, Paris. Bye-bye. And Puggy kisses to Chelsea too. Bye. Wait a minute. Is Charles there? He's probably not. No, don't want to. Bye. Bye.
See ya.